Hi everyone, today we're joined by 97 Thought. He's a musician. He's 21 years old.
Young.
21 years young. And let's get to it. You were 21 years old. I'm
Yes.
26.
That makes me 5 years younger than you.
You do music at the moment.
Yes, I do music at the moment.
What kind of music are we talking about?
If we're talking about a genre, I would say it's R&B and it's hip hop. And I'm also trying to mix in more ethnic music and more electronic music.
Okay.
And well, as I'm trying to mix those things, from that comes that I produce instrumentals, I write my lyrics, I do
So you
vocals.
do the whole thing. You not only sing, you write your own song.
Yeah, I do the whole thing.
Okay.
I also do graphic design, so I can draw my own logo and stuff. I can do my own album covers. That makes everything much easier.
Is it because you enjoy doing this, or just you don't want to have a team working on that?
Well, it all started from what I enjoy doing, because my parents are designers. So, as a kid, let's say, what I started playing with were like Photoshop and InDesign and Illustrator and those things. Because like let's say, well, some kids started playing Counter-Strike when they got a computer or got access to a computer. I started playing with like modeling 3D things and like playing around with Photoshop and effects. And music came along somewhere when I was in middle school. In middle school, I had a clear idea of what I wanted to do with my life to an extent. Let's say I knew the stream of where I want to go. You know, it was like entertainment, to an extent being public, and let's say working with people who are creative in a free environment.
You have dreadlock. That's the first thing I noticed. Then I see the neck tattoo. Then I see the whole package. Just appeared to me as a rapper. Would you disagree with that kind of?
It depends. What are you trying to say or ask with it? Let's say I got dreadlocks at a purpose of it's more comfortable to have dreadlocks than open long hair. Tattoo is my way to keep some experiences and my understanding of them more present on my body for a purpose of, let's say, getting the meaning more present in my life.
So you feel like it's irrelevant from what is going on in your music career? It's not like
My
correlated with that.
are not correlated with my music, yes.
Huh.
I can start making fucking chapel music, just because fucking I don't know, I might like the sound of an organ, you know. I mean, I can have all these tattoos, you know. It doesn't really have anything to do.
Are you doing this full time right now?
How to say it full time? Making a song for me is like 1 hour to like a day. So full time means like I wake up pretty early usually, like 7, 8, have my breakfast, and if I feel like recording a song or making the beats, I do it. And then I usually like carry on doing whatever there is to do.
How long have you been doing this?
In overall, I've been making music for like 6 years, well, like discovering music and such, you know. But really like making good music, it's been like a year and a half of making like actually good music. It's like has some nice lyrics to it, has some nice vocals to it, nice editing, nice beats and stuff.
Is this all self-taught? Have you been to school
Yeah,
for
it's
this?
all self-taught. It's all like based on experiences, me taking steps, stumbling here, falling there, being like, okay, it doesn't work that way, huh? People don't like when it's like not edited, you know, so...
So there's no like official kind of education anywhere in your career?
I finished high school, and I finished...
Not like music-wise, like going to a music school and learning about this stuff?
No, my younger brother has, but me not.
Okay. And how did your like parents feel about this when you start a show? Oh, I'm interested in this. I want to do this for a living. I want to kind of use this as a career?
Well, my parents been always like supportive of whatever I do, you know. Unless I was doing some dumb shit, you know. Like unless I wanted to go out there and like get drunk when I was 14, you know, they didn't support that.
So rapping is not considered dumb shit in their eyes.
It's self-expression, it's music and it's a way of making money. I think around 8th class I started writing lyrics and recording stuff in a very shitty quality. It was cringy as fuck. But
are they still on the internet?
No, I deleted everything.
Okay, you perform and
no, not much. Let's say I'm not a fan of performing, because where my music is mostly requested, let's say the field, let's say in like nightclub, is not something where I want to, let's say, spend my time in my current time of life. Performing for many artists is like just jumping around while you do the ad-libs to your song, you know, and that's pretty sad.
You don't like that?
I don't like that at all. Like, I don't even like having much of auto-tune in real, like, you know, performances. Like, I would much rather practice much harder, you know, and put much more effort into it, but do it myself, you know, like, actually with the vocal.
Where can we hear your music nowadays?
You can hear it. You can hear my music on Spotify. I have 2/1 albums out there. It's like two sides of one album, I would say. So it kind of makes it two, but it's kind of one for me. You can see music videos on my YouTube channel. Subscribe. Yeah.
Are you making a living out of this?
Yeah. Like I make living out of streams and also like from people ordering instrumentals or vocal recording or editing.
So you do music for other artists as well, other people who are interested?
Yeah, because why not? Like I want to form a band at some point, you know, have people who play drums, have a guy who like does the guitar and everything else, you know, and synths and stuff, to perform with people, you know, and have this like more of a live vibe, you know. But you know, it takes time. I'm not in a rush in getting there. It's like, I would say I'm just not putting too much pressure on doing half-ass shows. Because like those younger people, you know, who just start making music and blow up off of trash rap or like this, you know, like new school, whatever it is, mumble rap thing. Because it's so easy, you don't like, you make an album in like fucking an hour because
I love mumble rap. You don't like mumble rap?
I would say that...
It's so much fun.
It's fun, but that's all of it.
Okay.
That's all of it, man. It's
okay.
Like, it's only fun. They just talk about dumb shit, man. I don't like that shit.
What do you talk about in your are you doing music in Estonian?
No, I make music in English.
Okay.
Sometimes in Russian too. And okay, I wouldn't say my music is like fucking advanced or whatever on some next wavelength or whatever, but like I can also talk about those mainstream things for some hype reasons, you know, whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
to
like
make a hype song.
You're doing R&B and, you know, hip hop and all that, and you know, in the state you have.
The whole thing is like I just don't talk about fucking shooting people, you know.
Yeah, like they have gun violence to talk about, and then, you know, racial discrimination.
I just don't talk about things that are not present in my life. I don't talk about things that I don't want present in my life.
Yeah,
I
like
don't talk about things that are stupid.
What are some of the things that?
The topics that are present in my life or that I notice being really there. So in a sense,
like examples maybe?
I gotta be honest, in some of my songs I make music just purely out of like a vibe or emotion, you know. I can make a song just about like hanging out with a chick, or it's just a song about smoking a joint or whatever, you know. The music I put more effort into, in a sense, I address things that I notice being like mostly present in my life. Sometimes it's like, well, I can write it in a form of about somebody else, you know, even though I don't usually say that my music has a lot of like real people it's about. I usually like describe situations or like, let's say, events as people in music. Like, you know, like metaphors and stuff.
Okay.
You know, like I can make a song about breakup, doesn't mean I broke up, you know. It just means that I remember the feeling of it at some point in my life, or like I'm just felt like making a song about it without actually being there, you know.
I appreciate this kind of music because it's like more like poet, you know, like it's like poems. You don't really take it literally, but you know,
Yeah.
kind of you get something from it.
I would say it's like modern twist to poetry.
Who are actually influencing you, if there is any?
Like,
Just
to
name a
be
few.
completely honest, I can name artists who have influenced me until some point in my life. There are artists whose music I do appreciate and to whom I listen to occasionally.
Okay.
But again, you know, on the other side, I can say I haven't listened to any music for like 3 days now or something. And lately at all, like, I just slowly stop listening to music.
Okay. Okay.
It's like just,
Are you aware who is popping in the scene?
I am aware of who's popping, but they're not popping for me.
Okay, I see.
Okay, Drake is cool in some of his new songs on the new album. Some are nice, I gotta admit. But there are a lot of artists and new school music that is like, yeah, it sounds fun in a club, you know. Yeah, I can listen to it when I'm with my friends, you know. It's not something I would listen to in headphones, you know, when I'm doing something or walking around. Like, if I play music at my home, I would much rather play some like jazz or whatever, or like something like, you know, ambient.
Totally different from the genre you're doing.
Yeah,
Do you want to be famous?
I want fame as a tool. You
Okay.
know? So I want to
A tool to do what?
to express myself and to positively influence whoever is like responsible for me being famous. Like, in a sense, I want to be famous when I was 14. I wanted to be famous when I was 16, you know. Up until 18, until I got over my insecurities and fucking attention-seeking needs, whatever. And back then I wanted to be famous. And now I'm thinking that if I got famous until, like, I think if now I got famous, you know, I would be okay. But before that, I would probably get really cocky, arrogant, dumb shit, probably not do anything valuable to money, so I'll probably just do some dumb shit and be this casual little pump type dude. I want to be smart with it, you know. So I don't want the fame that's gonna like portray me as some dumbass, you know, because I want to use this fame, you know, to make money for myself at the same time to be able to give to people something good, like a good product, you know.
Like, do you know who's listening to your music? I got curious.
At the gigs I have done, as many people I see giving me feedback in one or the other situation, it's people from like 16, 17 to 26, 27.
Mm-hmm.
The oldest I know is like 30 something. It's not my parents. They're a bit older than that. But they enjoy it too. They enjoy some of my songs. The jazzy ones, not the hip hop ones. They're like, oh, the bass line is too much. The drums are too fast. Don't like. Do you remember where did we stop?
Doesn't matter, man. We flow from here.
Nice.
Do you feel like you get a lot of support, a lot of love nowadays?
Yes, I do. Like,
Yeah?
I can't say that I get any negative feedback at all.
No haters. I mean, I see there's a trend of hip hop and R&B and all this art form of like rapping getting popular. It's gaining attraction in this country. Like when I first came here, 2015, and I was watching Eurovision selection in Estonia that year. There was no rapping whatsoever. And then last year, I remember there was 2 rappers over there.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? How do you see this? Are you seeing this as a positive change? Like it's gotta be something interesting for you?
I mean, in my personal opinion, any change is positive because change is like always, you know, some changes are bigger, some are smaller. In this case, personally, no, I'm gonna speak completely personal right now. I think it's a good change because, well, that's music I listen to, that's music I make, you know. So in both ways, it's pleasant to me, you know, to see that the culture in hip hop is growing and evolving here. That means there's more demand for me too, you know. And that means there's more demand for other people, which means there'll be potentially more people I can make music with, you know. Because I don't see music as competition at all, you know. When you're a unique artist, there is no competition for you.
This is fun, man. Do you know Tommy Cash?
Yeah, cool dude, nice person.
He's getting really popular.
And that's great. Like, I don't know how to comment on this because
I mean, just kind of to me, it just goes to show like you can be internationally successful. I think he's not only famous in Estonia
he's
nowadays.
internationally famous, yes.
Yeah, so I think it's when I see it is I feel like you can make it even if you're like starting off from in Estonia.
Yeah, I know that.
Do you get the same feeling? Is it
Like,
like
when I was younger, I actually really was urging to move out from Estonia, you know, to pursue music. But in a couple of years, like lately, I figured that fucking hair in my mouth. I figured that it's really nice to be here, you know, and that exactly you can make it out of here anywhere. And to do that, you literally don't even have to leave your apartment or your home, you know. You can just make your music there, shoot the videos, even in your house, you know, or with your friends around your city, your country, and you're worldwide famous.
is there anything you feel like it's limiting for you being here compared to maybe, you know, like there are some places that other people would consider better for doing raps, like in, I don't know, in the States somewhere?
Well, States is definitely in some cases, you know, better for it or more, let's say, made for it because like it's a country of entertainment, you know, in a sense. Well, public-wise, you know, it's an entertainment place. But limiting, nah, nothing is limiting. You know, some things can, you know, amplify and better it. For example, having more clubs or events that, you know, play hip-hop and R&B music.
Are there not enough nowadays?
No, not really.
Huh. What do they play? I have never been to any club.
Mainstream music mostly.
Like pop?
Yeah.
Huh.
So like, you know, those type of venues and those type of events would of course improve it, you know, because the music would get to people quicker, you know, and more artists could perform and emerge, you know, there'd be more market for it. There would be more money to pay the artists and stuff, you know, and to host these events, of course. But nothing is really limiting it, you know. It's like the question is how bad you want it.
That's true.
Because like again, you know, I can start making up and looking into things that could be better, you know, but like why bother with thinking about them and talking about them if I'm not willing to change them, you know. Like if I notice that something is bothering me in those things, I just do my best to apply my effort to change it, you know, to make it better. If it's worth changing and making better. Because sometimes it can be just, you know, your perspective of, like, I don't know, looking too narrowly or whatever. So, like, at some point when I was younger, I thought there was, like, oh, nobody listening to my music, you know, and stuff. But at that time, my music myself wasn't that good, you know, to be listened to. And now that I'm making music that's good enough, you know, I see that there's market for it, you know, people listen to it, people recognize me, you know, it's nice.
How do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years? Well, if I think about the fact that every day is so long and I do so many things in a day, in 5 years it would be really nice to already have my own house or start building my own house. I'll be 26, damn. It would also be nice to...
You'll be my age.
Like, I don't know, stable passive income to maintain comfortable living without having to hustle or do any, like, let's say, effort at all. So I can just, like, you know, by 26 I just want to, I don't know, have a couple apartments for renting and my house for living, you know, or whatever. Maybe have a house on Bali or two. So just, like, be able to live comfortably and be able to sustain my family and my parents and stuff. And also have the energy and capacity to express myself in fun and useful ways for people and, well, make more money.
Do you ever see yourself doing like a 9 to 5 kind of job?
I have done it, so like I can, like in a sense, if we're talking, can I see myself, like, you know, at all? Yes, because I have done it. I have worked in like customer service. I have worked in an office. But in future, no, I don't see myself doing 9 to 5. I passed that in my life when I was 20. It was enough for me.
Do you have any questions for me?
Do you think this conversation was interesting? And do you think that it has something valuable to offer besides an insight into let's say, my personality.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting. Like, in my social circle, I don't meet people like you, you know?
Okay.
I've never met anybody like you. And when you see somebody, it's always just an image, you know, like the visual representation of it, and then you start to make association in your own head. Like, he look a certain way, therefore, I put him in this category, he must fit. I put him in that category, he must fit. But then it's always interesting for me, or at least it's surprising and always refreshing for me to actually talk to the person, like what we did today.
Yeah.
And well, he's not that person. He's not what I assume he is, unless I spend time with him and actually get to talk about it.
Yeah, exactly.
And that kind of I don't know how to describe it. That kind of a shocking experience, it just brings new perspective for you. Yo, thank you for coming out. It was real pleasure.
Got you.
Yeah,
it was indeed.
It was really fun.
If you have any more interesting things to talk about, you can always invite me again. I always love to talk some.
It was really fun. Yeah.
She talks sweet like a passion fruit, move bricks like a trapper would. She got good shit, she can roll the wood, she can burn it down like it's Hollywood. I'm pulling you close like a blanket, you're pulling me close like a planet. You always stay close like a casket, a partner in crime she abandoned.